ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Tuesday, July 2nd at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am live. It is week 27 of 2024, and in my neck of the woods it is currently 85 degrees. It was cooler yesterday, with a high of 90 and a low of 61. Welcome, welcome, welcome to my broadcast. I'm here for the next 3 hours for coloring, companionship, chat, friendship, giggles, and laughs, and of course, the what, and then the how, and then the why of adult coloring. Welcome to my YouTube peeps who come in and chat with me. That is always delightful. Welcome to my YouTube peeps who watch this broadcast after the fact when it goes to video. And welcome to my Facebook peeps who watch this broadcast after the fact when it goes to video in my group Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Remember, guys, this broadcast and my group is the emotional refuge where we are united through coloring. All right, guys, so tell me what number you are in that pressing that like button. So, hello, Maggie, who is number 1, by the way. Emily, hello. Annie Banani, hello. Hi, Thomas. Hello, Mamie. All right. So the first image, Carrie's number 6. Hello, Carrie. There we go. I'm back. Weird. All right, so the first project is our buddy color, which is from Hobo Life Jubilee. Last night we were working through the truck. All right, so Carrie says, I'm going away this evening to visit my family for a few weeks. I will videos and I don't regret. Family time is every time. I'll catch up when you get back. Oh, exactly, Carrie. Family first. Perfectly understandable, of course. And then my second piece is from Tatiana Stilova. This is Vintage Classic Coloring Pages 4 by Tatiana Stilova. And we are working our way through this image. All right, so tell me about your day briefly. Win, lose, or draw. I'm going to say draw for me. Let me get my paper towel here. Annie, draw. Okay. Hi, Dorothy. Maggie, you had a win. We had Allie up until about 30 minutes ago. Super. Oh, Mamie said win. Got her hobo book. Ha ha. Whee. Oh, Carrie, you did give your sister a set of Star Joys. Okay. Like the ones you sent me. If you go through withdrawal, I'll do something with your sis. Cool. Carrie says draw. All right. Thomas says, what, when I've been coloring for a couple hours now until class started. Okay. Emily says win. Emily, what's your win? How's Derek doing? Okay, so a needle pulling thread, la, a note to follow, so. Hello, kitty. Tea, a drink with jam and bread. Thank you, Carrie. I don't know, maybe I've said this before, I should change the group name to the Singing Colorist. That really was a great movie, wasn't it? Let's see. And the three amigos are here. Hi, Linda. Uno, dos, tres. Hello, Linda. Michelle. Hi, Michelle. And Wally. Oh, yeah. The Sound of Music is a lovely movie with lots of memories. Okay. So let's work this area underneath the blue. Oh, Emily, you had a win because you saw a nurse who's helping get my diabetes under control. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to work with browns on this particular one. These are the browns that I'm working with. Yeah, Lawrence of Arabia was another good movie. I don't know if anybody's seen that. Excellent, excellent movie. And then here's my darker brown. And of course, Godfather, excellent movie. All right. Let's get back to the subject at hand here. So I'm right underneath my brown cap, and I'm going to go with my lighter color here. Who's coloring this with me tonight? And then oh, Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. A lose in a way. Packed up my office, so all my pencils are gone until we get in the new house. The inspection appraisal done today, so hopefully a quick closing. Excellent. Stephanie, how do you feel? Hi, Julie. Julie, what number thumbs up are you? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, guys. We've got 17 people in the room and 7 thumbs up. And don't forget that we're going to be doing the other hobo picture as well, because you guys said that you'd like me to do that. Okay, now we're going to do our dark. Stephanie, how are the cats doing with all the ruckus that's going on in your house? They know that something's going on. All right, Linda's number 12. Okay, now, the way that my piece looks, it looks pretty stilted, doesn't it? It doesn't look natural. When you make your lines, be sure to curve them a little bit. On the ends. And then what? I'm going to finger blend. Stephanie says number 6. Okay, exhausted and sore, I bet you are. Most definitely they know in and out of boxes, jumping on everything to watch. Annie, no question is stupid, please. There's no way to see what number you are for the thumbs up. Hello, Joe. So we're going to curve our lines just a little bit. And I'm going to finger blend. Annie is boxing her stuff. That'll be her in a couple of weeks. Haha. Thomas, you're still in Pennsylvania till July 12th, and then we'll be driving back home to Idaho. So excited to see my dog, I bet. Okay, that was easy enough here. So let's do the patch that's right next to that. Let's see what we got here. Okay, kitty, you go cook dinner. Okay. Oh, Stephanie, that's right. You'll have to catch the number when it changes with your like. Exactly. Thank you, Stephanie. I wasn't thinking. That's right. As soon as you hit that like, the number changes, and that way you'll know. Okay. So this color is a light brown. It's lighter than the two colors that I just used. And if you have color, it happens to be number 294. Okay, mauve brown. So let's go ahead and pop that in here. Be careful you don't hit your borders with the gold and the black that we did. And then I'm going to come in with my darker brown that I used on that previous patch. And we're going to go ahead and shade and shadow. All of the browns you have are on the reddish side, how to get them more golden. What brand pencil are we talking about? Now I'm going to come in with a slightly darker brown. Stephanie, if you're having problems with your browns, I would actually use a like a dark. I would use, yeah, the yellow will do it. A gold pencil will use it. Your browns. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with a darker brown yet, and we're going to get right underneath that hood. And you want to make sure that you get a good shadowing under there because you want that hood to look dimensional. And I'm going to take that dark brown and I'm going to work it up also over my other patch. Oh my gosh, excuse me guys, I need to use a tissue. Excuse me. Now check out how that darker brown underneath our hood and also next to the hair is giving us that dimension, that depth. Who's coloring this with me tonight? I think I already asked you that question. Oh yeah, Prismacolor and some color. Look at that, guys. Depth, dimension, detail. Joe, you're coloring on after the replay. Perfect. Okay, now, as I work my way up the hood, I'm going to switch to a Payne's Gray when I get on top of the green. Maggie, you're coloring good? My apologies if I asked you that question earlier as to who's coloring with me. And guys, be sure to post your WIPs, work in progress, in the group. And again, you're going to want to run that shadow up on the side here. And that way we've got a good dimension on it. Have I told you guys lately that I'm so proud of you? Those of you that have been posting and showing me your work. Joe, I was having problems with my internet as well. What high alert are you talking about? Okay, now. I'm going to come down. Yeah, it's Payne's Gray. I love the Payne's Gray. Paynes. Yep. I love them so much that I buy multiples when I can do it. Okay, now, using your Payne's Gray, you want to work next to our little fringe here. And what that's going to do is that's going to give you that depth. So we're putting a little bit of shadow next to that gold. But remember, you've got to blend it out, make it look natural. Thomas, you're back? Good. All right, same thing here. Joe, what's the high alert that you were talking about? Is that just weather in your area or what? Heat advisories? Oh yeah, this patchwork coat is turning out beautifully. Now I'm going to very lightly put Payne's Gray on the edges of my yellow. This is why you have to learn to have a calm hand, soft hand, light hand. Soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur. Happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr. Everybody see how I'm adding? Okay, Joe, good. How I'm adding that little bit of edge to each patch. And I want you to notice that I'm sticking into right into the gold stuff, the gold and black here. And also notice, for example, that up at the top of this yellow patch, I'm bringing that grayish down into the yellow. And we'll finger blend that. Oh, I'm having too much fun with this, I'm telling you. Let's go up to this light one. Again, notice that when I put my color in, yeah, but what's what is the high alert about? Is it heat? Hold on, gotta get some water. But anyway, Joe, don't worry about it. Perfectly okay if you mixed up one of your patches. All right. Yep, Top Gun is another great movie. Okay, at the very top of this one patch, right next to her shoulder, we've got a little bit of an area that I missed, and we're gonna put in some orange on that. Joe, it won't affect yours. Okay, let me pull out so you can see. Now, remember these little details that I'm showing you and the shading that I'm showing. Look at how that hood is shaded now against the rest of the jacket. Isn't that absolutely beautiful how that's looking? And notice how the shading inside of the patches now is making the fringe stand out more. Okay. Now for me, I'm going to go up to the top here, and I'm going to shade in a little bit with my Payne's Gray. The folds in the material. I am barely touching the paper with my Payne's Gray, guys. This is why you absolutely have to have a light hand. And I'm just going to smudge that just a little bit. What's the D word that I always talk about? Details. Exactly. Thank you, Mamie. Okay, now I'm going to slide down. I've got my patch next to my green here. Oh, Linda, D, not B, but yes, blending I talk about as well. Linda, you don't have to retract your message. Okay, this spot right here, a very, very light orange. Check it out. That's right, Thomas, detail. And what do I always tell you? Focus on the detail of what you're doing. And if you do that, your pieces will be head and shoulders above everybody else. No, this is called Honey Orange from Zenicolor. No, Joe, I don't think that's weird that you like your color better than Prisma. And then I'm going to come in with a medium gray because we want this to look scruffy. And yes, we color gray on gray. Stephanie, you can't find Starjoy? Well, Amazon. I can give you the affiliate. Just send me a message. Okay, very, very light smudge. I'm just going to do a teeny tiny smudge, barely moving my finger. And I'm going to color these little gray areas. Okay. Very simple. I like Starjoy. I've used them. Okay. Let's work the patch down here. I'm going to use a dark, medium, and light green. Now, just for fun, just to show you guys this, I'm going to use my Ohuhu marker. And for those of you that have this, it's a number 62. And I'm going to go ahead and put in that color on this patch. These are water-based markers, and if you smudge them right away with your finger, you can blend it a little bit. And then I'm going to come in with a dark green. Let's see here. Okay, dark green. And we'll add that shading to it. Notice that I'm coming up from the bottom right-hand corner here. And then I'm going to come in with my Payne's Gray and do those edges. Now, notice how I bring that Payne's Gray down from the upper right to the lower left. In other words, you want to be careful that you don't edge your patches the same way on each one. Now, I'm going to go back to my lighter patch. I'm not happy with it, the way it turned out on mine. So I'm going to darken those gray lines a little more. And I'm going to put my edging on. Oh my gosh, I just noticed a pattern in this. Look at this. Let's see if I can zoom in and show you this. Anybody else see the eye right here? The nose? And the mouth. Oh, that is too funny. Yes, I'm a nutcase. Hold on, gotta use a tissue again. I'm glad some of you are agreeing that that looks like a face. And yes, I'm going to leave it in there just because. That's our little secret, guys. Joe, you see it? Oh, man. If you guys really wanted to mess with me, you could say, ILene, what are you talking about? We don't see a face. Jesus is watching us. That's right. Amen. 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 Sing it with me. Amen. Just because. Amen. Yes, we sing. Amen. 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 Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay. ILene is feeling good tonight. Okay. Now I'm going to take a gold pencil. It's actually a brown olive pencil. If you have color, it's a number 37. And I'm going to do this patch right below the reddish one on the left arm. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and tint the whole square with my lightest color. Even has a beard. Okay. Joe sees a beard in the face. Now, this patch here does not go all the way down to the bottom. Or all the way down to the side, excuse me. It ends right there. Joe, you're going to put the face in? Cool. And then I'm going to come in with a darker brown. So there's my medium color. A little bit of a finger blend. And then I'm going to come in with my Payne's Gray. Hello, Patricia. I'm going to come in with my Payne's Gray, and I'm going to work that edge just like I did on the other patches. And I'm going to change my mind and work this gold all the way over to the right hand side. I initially said leave it open, don't do that. It'll look better if we close it off. And then I'm going to use my Payne's Gray in that corner. See how I'm angling that? Patricia, how have you been? Where have you been? And let's go ahead and put that Payne's Gray here in between our hair strands because we want them to show up. See how I'm doing that? Okay. Bottom patch. Let me pull out, just so you need to know where we are, right here. Olive green. Now my olive green, let me swatch it for you. Jolly, did you get in here and I didn't see you? Oh, there's Jolly. Jolly says M. The Payne's Gray is from Faber-Castell. What you would have to do is match it from a color. Now, I've got another olive green here, which is actually a metallic copper. Happens to be a color 223. So I'm going to put the metallic copper on first. And I want you to notice that it does not go all the way down to the bottom of the elbow. We're going to put a different color down there on the bottom. And then I'm going to come in with my secondary olive on these darker portions. Oh, you have Faber-Castell? Yeah, Payne's Gray. Now, check out how we have the sweep of the green here going up. Now, remember how I told you that sometimes I don't exactly follow my grayscale, that I'll go ahead and add that little extra artistic oomph to it? That's what I'm doing here. I don't want you guys to color grayscale like mindless robots. Now, I'm going to take a light pink and I'm going to get that last little patch down here. All right, let's pull out. Now, that pink that I put here, I'm also going to go back over to my orange, and I'm going to add that to my orange so that we have a visual cross-reference. The Prismacolor and Color don't seem to play well together. I don't know if I've really noticed that. Now I'm on the far right on my orange. I'm going to put a little U here with my pink. Check it out. And then I'm going to go to my lowest area here. I'm just below that left arm. We've got 3 patches here. Right here, right here, and right here. So on this one here, I'm going to use that same pink. Okay, Stephanie, we'll have to find out if anybody else has problems with it. Let me show you the pink. This one happens to be a Brett Funner. I have no idea what their color is. All right. And then I'm going to come in with a, let's see, medium gray. And then I'm going to come into this with a Payne's Gray right on that edge. And I'm going to use a little more Payne's Gray on this bottom part here. We'll color that in. It's the pay grade, yeah. Joe, yes. Okay. Now, back with my marker, with my green. And then my darker green for the shadows, for the shading. And then my last little patch, orange. And that's going to be up here. And then I'll come in with my Payne's Gray and I'm going to shadow that a little bit. Okay, now up the left arm, Payne's Gray on our edges. Yes, I've used alcohol markers. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. And then back with my gray up here as my edge. And then back up on my red with my gray as my edge. Just a little bit. Don't go crazy with it. Joe, yes, alcohol will bleed through all the time. That's what alcohol markers do, but don't stop using them because they do that. I know, Joe, I forgot, ma'am. Yes? Hi, Brittany. Okay. Check it out. Isn't that coat absolutely gorgeous? Okay. Now, you remember when we went through and used the gold between the patches? And then we went and we put a little bit of black in there, or Payne's gray in there, to make it look like the different segments. So now we're going to go back to the boy's jacket, and we're going to dirty that up a little bit. So, here's our gold. And by adding it to this coat, it's going to make this coat look scruffier. And I want you to notice that I'm putting this gold on the lighter areas. All right. Now that scruffiness is going to look good on this seam. So I'm putting it across the back. Now when you're doing something like this, I want you to think about where a coat is going to be scruffy, and it's going to be on the high points. I don't want you to just be throwing this gold on the jacket. Finger blend here. Let me go back up to the top and add a little more here. And then a finger swipe. All right, here's another seam line down by the flag. And again, remember, it's going to be on the high points. And then on the very bottom, I'm going to pretty much confine that gold to this, to the right hand side. We'll put a little bit here, but I'm keeping it to the right. All right. And then I'm going to go around the fraying edge of the flag. And we'll add that little bit of gold there. Now, notice on the bottom, some of the fringe is missing, so you want to skip over that. I want you to think when you're coloring. I've got a little bit of the fringe that's missing right by the flag, by the stars, so I'm going to skip over that as well. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my Payne's Gray, and right below that gold on the flag, I'm going to add a little bit of shadow. Isn't that cool? And that's going to give us a really dimensional looking piece. Any questions? Now, I'm going to take my gold and I'm just going to add a little bit in the lighter areas vertically. Very, very lightly, hardly noticeable, but adding to the beauty of the picture. Questions? Now I'm going to pop in just a little bit of white on this vertical. And that's going to lighten a little bit of that vertical and give us our dimension. I'm also going to pop it in on our fold lines. And notice how doing that really adds dimension to this. Now, be careful with your white and how you're highlighting. Notice I'm not going to do any of that highlighting down here. I want this bottom area to look a little flatter. And in fact, I'm going to take my blue and I'm just going to put a slight tint over this bottom area. Maggie, how's your coloring going? Jolly, how's it going? I'm also going to add a little bit of darker blue underneath the flag. And I'm going to put a little bit of white on this thread. And that'll give that dimension there. Jolly, how's it going? Okay, Jolly, don't rush. Okay, Now I'm going to come back with my olive color that I used earlier, and I'm going to put that on my green hood, and that's going to dirty that up as well. Jolly, when you come in late, you can just go ahead and pick up where I'm coloring and then go back by watching the video. Okay, so Brittany, Stephanie, or Joe, any questions about how this is being colored? Now, notice how I'm dulling down this green. And I'm also going to dull down the green at the bottom. Now remember, I haven't done the pants yet. I want this shirt to look scruffy, that's why I'm putting in this olive on that. Now, on the arms and this left-hand side, I'm going to take Payne's Gray, and I'm very lightly going to go over my darkest blue. And that's going to start to, or I should say continue to give us more dimension on our pieces. And look how really cool that looks now with the darker shading. Now I'm going to bring that shading over to this other side. Again, you want a light touch. Well, Joe, that's why I covered this the way that I do. I don't just sit here and color without any explanation. Now, again, my Payne's Gray barely touching. I'm going to bring that Payne's Gray up to this area a little bit as well. And down to the left. See how I'm shading this, and that's giving us our depth, dimension, and detail on these little pieces here on the coat, on the jacket. And this is exactly why when I do these buddy colors that you do them with me and pace me. Okay, notice how I'm adding a little bit of gray underneath that seam. And I'm going to bring a little bit of gray on top of the shoulder here. It's below the seam line. Okay. Everybody see now how we're getting that dimension on this jacket. Now I'm going to add a little more shadow between her coat and his. Check it out. And this again is another reason why you come in, you do tinting. You don't just come in and pile drive your pencil into the paper. You keep up with your strokes until you get it to a point that it looks good to you. And notice now how I'm also doing this on the elbow of her jacket. Stephanie, I worked on the truck image to give that better dimension as far as to what was on it, like the fishing rod. I also changed up the hair a little bit on the young lady. just various things on this. All right, let's pull out and look at this. Look at the difference, guys. My Linda. Okay. Same thing with the Payne's Gray. I'm going to emphasize our wrinkles here on this side. Notice how I add the Payne's Gray below the lighter area, and that makes that lighter area stick out. All right, notice how these folds are coming out beautifully, and I'm just going to blend that a little bit with my finger. I enhance these pictures so you guys don't have any difficulty coloring them. Okay. Payne's Gray around the flag, we're going to shadow that. Now, notice where I have this gap on this fringe, I'm going to come in with my Payne's Gray and I'm going to shade in there. Okay, Payne's Gray on the bottom. And then along the right hand side of this flag. And now I'm going to come over towards the arm. And I'm going to enhance the shadowing here. Check out how that darker gray really makes this pop. Okay. But again, guys, remember, you don't want to streak. You want to blend that in. If you streak in this gray, you've defeated the purpose. All right. Now, this area where I have this bottom part of the denim, we need to shadow that as well. Stephanie, take care. All right, let me pull out. And look how beat up now his jacket looks. Finger blend. Okay. Guys, how is your piece looking? Okay. Now, I'm going to add a little touch to this. It's going to seem weird, but it'll make sense. Your jacket on that little boy should look beat up. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of gold glitter. Let me get some paper here. And I'm going to put a little splotch on some paper. Let me get a clean toothpick here. Yep, glitter glue. And I'm going to add some touches of that glitter glue on the edges of the patches. Now, I want you to notice that I'm not putting solid lines on here. And I'm putting it on very thin. Now, again, this needs to be very spotty and very thin, and it's just enough to enhance our patches. And I'm also going to put it on this edge where that lighter color is. That's our white. And I can't emphasize this enough, is just put on a very, very thin layer. And only put it on in spots. Okay. Now, if you do this right and put on this thin layer, it really will hardly be noticeable. You know how sometimes when you have fabric and you cut it and it's almost like plastic. Joe, yes, the plan with HP is with free ink. Oh, no, I'll take that back. Hold on. Well, yeah, you pay a flat fee per month and you get as much ink as you need. And HP now has a brand new program where for a flat rate per month, they will give you a printer and the ink. I already have an HP, but I'm going to check in on that and see exactly what the deal is. I haven't talked to HP. I don't know what the specifics are. I'll look into it and then post in the group. All right. That's right, you have to keep the printer connected to the internet. And the reason for that is they can tell when you're running low on ink and they'll send you more cartridges. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, yes I did. Now, don't get heavy-handed with your glitter. I am on a monthly plan. I am on a monthly plan with HP. And I really like it. Okay, let me pull out. So what do you think? Now, when that glitter dries, it's not going to be in your face. Okay, little bit of glitter around the flag. Check it out. Any questions or comments about what the heck I'm doing? Again, I'm not putting solid lines of glitter on here. I'm just putting it on a spot color. Like I said, when this stuff dries, it won't be as apparent. Okay, so we've got a beat up jacket. On the boy, we've got a little bit of glitter on the flag, and again, as this glitter dries, it's not going to make it look like it's a glittery coat. Joe, all the fringe on her jacket is colored. Okay. Oh, are you talking about the fringe down here? I haven't colored that. It's like a blanket. Have not colored that. Okay. Next project. Tatiana Stilova. Jolly, what patch did I miss? Jolly, if you're thinking about this right here, that's part of the truck. Oh, right elbow. No, that's just shading. This is just a shaded area in here. Man, that looks really cool. Okay. You guys are keeping me on my toes tonight, and that's good. So last night I was adding some beautiful blue around this dress. And what I'm doing is I'm shading around the flowers to make them stand out. Let's go ahead and continue with that. For those of you that have this image, I know a couple of you bought the book from Etsy. Check out how beautiful her dress is turning out. And again, I am barely touching the paper. Oh, Brittany, I agree with you. Marie Antoinette. Yep. Isn't that beautiful? I'm going to go back to this left-hand side and go down this lace. Who's coloring this with me? Now remember, I penciled in the bottom half of this dress. You would never know it. Jolly, you're coloring with me? Cool. Maggie, you're coloring with me. Excellent. Oh, Joe, you're changing to your iPad. Won't be able to chat if I don't answer, not being rude. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Brittany, I am not going to call out. Oh, excuse me. Hold on. AI versus non-AI. It causes too much drama, and I'm not going to get tied into that conversation. Patricia. Good night, good night, good night. Patricia, I'm so glad you came in. Brittany, if the AI is done correctly, meaning that the artist goes into the image and alters it so it doesn't look weird, there's absolutely no problem with it. Good night, Patricia. Good night, Patricia. Good night, Patricia. So glad you are with us tonight. Okay, check out how cool this is looking. I'm using my darker blue along the vines, and I'm also going around my leaves and flowers. Who practiced their flowers last night when I showed you how to draw them? Jolly, you drew a page full. Excellent. Do you feel comfortable doing them now? It is so ridiculously easy. Okay, check out how I'm following here the vines. Now, notice that this vine was short on this flower, so I'm just going to go ahead and draw that in. Okay. Now, be sure that you shade around your individual leaves here. Put in your blue, finger blend it. Now, don't get sloppy doing this. Okay. Now, we need to go underneath the ruffle here. And notice how I'm shadowing underneath it. And that way it gives us what? Our D word, dimension. Isn't that beautiful? Let me pull out. Miss Linda, good night. Excuse me, I need to use the tissue again. Good night, Michelle. I just noticed that I missed a rose leaf here. Okay, fixed. All right, on the other side here. Oh, thank you, Michelle. All righty, let's take a look at this. cute as a button. Now, I'm going to take my pencil with this dark blue, and I'm going to go right on top of the line here. And that's going to give us a little more dimension. And then I'm going to go and do the same thing on the right hand side. And then we'll go ahead and do this on the left-hand side. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, we're getting there. Let's see. Now, if you have a marker like this that's got black on the tip because you used it on top of a pencil, just take your scissors and cut it at an angle until you get that black out of there. In other words, you can trim your markers. And I also use this technique to resharpen my markers if the point gets dull. All right, I'm debating on a color here. Let's see. Unfortunately, the one color that I want is drying out. I'm going to pitch that. Sit tight. Okay. I want our queen to look very elegant. And I've added a little bit of pink. I'm going to be putting reds and pink on the flowers, a little bit of yellow. But I'm going to go with a darker blue on the fringe. And this happens to be an Ohuhu 88. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit. And I'm going to add the blue. Now, notice, Jolly and Maggie, that I'm not intentionally putting blue on that outline around the neck. Who knows, my hand may wobble a little bit. Now, don't forget to turn your marker while you use it, and that way the wear and tear will be even. All right. Now, be careful about going over your marker areas more than once. Avoid it if you can. And look how pretty that is. So let's work on that sleeve poofy. Now, be careful on the sleeve, because underneath this bow, you have a light area, and that's where her waist is showing up. So don't color that blue by mistake. And of course, take your time around the fingers. You don't want to wipe those out. Okay. Take your time. Now notice how I'm also outlining. That tends to help when you're using marker. And then I'll go in and go up and down. To get the rest of this. Okay, now I'm going to work the fringe. Let's see what we got here. Got a little tiny bit of fringe right here below the hand. Don't worry about the blue being similar to the blue in the dress. We're going to take care of that. Now, on this fringe, I'm just going to go up and down all the way across. See how I'm doing that? And look how beautiful and elegant this is looking. Take your time. And boy, is this turning out to be very pretty. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to go down the fringe, down the front, in between, or next to the bows. And again, notice how well that pencil holds up to where we drew the extra part of this fringe. All right, let's get this other side done. Isn't that beautiful? Let me pull out. Miss Kitty, good night. I'm on for 15 more minutes. Okay. That blue and that green look fantastic together. And then, of course, I'm going to play around with the flowers. Now on the sleeves, I'm going to take my green and color that in. Okay. Now let's go back up to the collar. Payne's Gray. I'm going to shadow underneath our white line. Now, the reason we can get away with this with Payne's Gray is because we have a dark blue. And I'm going to come down just a little bit sporadically and make these ruffles. See how I'm doing that? Just a couple lines, just a hint at the ruffles. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Again, I'm going to hint at the ruffles by drawing that line out. And then we'll come down with the gray. Now, when you do your gray, do not go just up and down. You want to go sideways and you want to stagger that edge. In other words, I'm staggering out that gray towards the outside. It's not just a curved line here. Everybody clear on that? And look how cool that collar looks now. And you want to get right down into that V at the bottom. Okay. Arm ruffles. Darker color right next to the arm. And same as before, we're going to stagger out that gray. Jolly, do you see how I'm staggering that out? Check it out. Details, guys, details. I'm going to go right up to the finger with this. Now, normally I would tell you to jump the color. You know how I always tell you to carry a color to the outside, to the other side of something? I'm not going to do that with the finger. I'm going to leave the lighter blue on the other side. All right. Let's do the lace underneath the wrist. Darker on the right-hand side, and then we have that ragged edge going inward. So in other words, you aren't completely covering up that blue. Okay, let's do the other poofy sleeve. Notice how I'm staggering this outward. Check it out. It's almost like a color burst. Okay. Let's hit up the fringe around the dress, but I'm going to start with my V area here down the center. So I'm going to work on these two areas right here. And I think that'll make it a little clearer. Oh, and let me do this area right here that I forgot underneath the arm. We just want to come down just a little bit. Don't go down too far. But don't make a straight line across here. You want it jagged. Okay. So let's go down the side here. Now I have to go straight for a little bit, only just to establish that edge. But then notice how I am making this jagged. See that? Isn't that beautiful? Now it's a little narrow here, so we just have to be careful. Let's go ahead and do the other side. Again, the key thing is to make sure that that gray is jagged. If you come down straight, it's going to ruin the effect. Just little teeny tiny lines here to make that jagged. Okay, let me pull out. Isn't that beautiful? Now, if you can hang with me a little longer than normal, I'll go ahead and do this fringe and then I'll call it a night. Okay, so there's my paper towel to protect what I've colored. Let me zoom in. And let's go ahead and start adding our gray. Hang with me, guys. See how I've made this edge ragged when I'm adding my darker color? beautiful is that? All right, let's get this other part here. And then I can go get something to eat. Now, we've got this dark gray coming up from this basically vertical line. You want to be sure that you leave a gap between the end of that and the color that you're putting in now. In other words, don't fill in this whole area with your dark gray. Is anybody that's doing this having any problem? Up. Let me get back on camera. Little bit of gray around that rose, but I'm leaving lighter blue at the bottom. Details, guys, details. Oh, how pretty is that? Let me pull out. So what do you think? Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, I'm ready to call it a night. So tonight we worked on our Tatiana Stilova book. Vintage Classic Coloring book. Vintage Classic Coloring Pages 4 by Tatiana Stilova. And then the other image that I worked on, Hobo Life Jubilee. This is the one that I've given to you as a buddy color because it's out of one of my books. And notice how this gold glitter doesn't look exactly like gold glitter, and it makes our patches look really cool. That's the effect that I wanted. And then on our blue jacket here, I added the lighter brown. And now our coat really looks like that's beat up as well. Okay guys, this is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Guys, joyous coloring. I have 3 requests. Number 1, please hit that like button. That's very helpful. Number 2, share this broadcast to your timeline. Somebody may see it and say, oh cool, adult coloring, I gotta check this out. And number 3, when you post your WIPs in our group, please post them in other groups as well. Okay, guys, take care. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. I'm having too much fun with my images. That works out. Okay, guys, take care. See you tomorrow night, same time, same place. And we will continue with both projects. Take care, guys. Love you. You know I mean that. I don't just say love you. All right. Take care. Bye.